How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews. We'll hot butcher up in this piece today in the form of their Blizzard of 67. This is a Citra Mosaic Eldorado and Euconaut. Why am I butchering that? I don't know. I know how to say that, but right now I don't know what's wrong with me. Equinaut. Hopped triple Indian Pale Ale brewed with honey. 10% alcohol by volume. And this is it's a lush tropical light resin ripe berry, as their tasting notes in the back would go. Got a beer, hot butcher for the world. This was canned on the 28th of January, and that makes it less than a month old. The bottom, R.I.P. Kobe. Fuck yeah, motherfucker. Kobe was my guy. Man, I don't like to talk about that stuff on the beer channel because I'm not like a sports thing, but I love sports. Kobe was my guy, you know. So that fucking sucked. Anyway, Leeward. Kind of departure from what Jetsa usually does, but I can get down with it. Blizzard of 67. I have no idea what the reference is. I assume it references a blizzard that happened in 1967. Rich orange. I mean, when you're talking about these kind of triple IPAs, they tend to come off a little bit darker because I believe you can only push brew sugar so far, so that grain bill just kind of beefs up a little bit, gets a little bit darker. It's not uber dark, but it's, quite a bit darker than what you expect from a kind of single or even double kind of IPA. Big haze to it. Not much of a head to speak of, but this glass doesn't really generate much of a head. It's good to know. I mean, this is kind of where a lot of these triple IPAs kind of verge. Because it's like, I find this wide berth of different flavors and tastes and notes and profiles and noses and esters and all that stuff. And in your 5, 6, 7, 8... Once you start to eke into the nines, more specifically double digits, especially in the hot beers, they tend to start kind of verging back together as far as notes go for me. Unless you're dealing with a lot of the kind of lactose beers, I think that tempers a lot of those kind of more harsher flavors, which tend to kind of beat down some of the more nuanced flavors when it comes to beer. So what I'm getting in here is just a big hop presence, a more ranky-danky, green, almost scalliony, oniony kind of thing that is vibrant. There is a fruit character floating underneath it, but you have that on top of it. It's not huge, but it's bigger than everything else. And there's a sweetness to it, and that's pretty much it. You would expect the more volume, the bigger the beer, the more robust those things are going to become. It's not necessarily the case. Once you get to a certain point, it seems like there's kind of a funneling, a bottleneck, if you will, of that. And sometimes it can even go backwards. So the taste will see what's different, but let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, it drinks like a double IPA. Ranky-dank. Fruit. More like a stone fruit melon character. Kind of combo with a bit of citrus floating around in there. Nice mouthfeel. A little bit of heat. A little bit of kind of acidity, carbonic acid thing going on. That hop presence is sharp. It's dank. It's green. But it really is nothing that I haven't had at like 8%. So when you start dipping into these kind of 10%-ish, what was this, 10 on the nose? Yeah, 10% beers. Is it worth it? I mean, that's kind of the soapbox that I reside on nowadays. It's like, I can get this at 7%. Why do I want to drink a 10% version of this? I understand people dig that, but that's just my kind of bag. So here's the thing. And this is the one thing I guess, I don't know if I've said this yet about Hot Butcher. This is kind of one of the more kind of generic hazies that I've had from these guys. Not generic in a sense that it's like undrinkable or not tasty. It does what it does and it does it okay. But it's just a taste. I've had this beer before. I've had this beer from like 10 other breweries before, easily. Much the same. And that's a bummer because that's kind of my favorite thing about Hot Butcher is their fuckduckery, the weird things that they do with beer, and they do it so well. Some people, and I've said this multiple times during the reviews, a lot of people do weird shit, and they suck at doing weird shit. They just try to do weird shit. Hot Butcher does cool shit with hops, weird shit with hops, but it more often than not works. This is kind of boring for me. It just tastes like somebody else's beer, and that's not what I want from you guys, motherfuckers. So yeah, it's fine. That kind of, that tropical fruit, stone fruit, dipping in a little bit of citrus vibe with that kind of ranky green thing is great. But, I want more. I expect more from you guys. But yeah, it's not a bad beer. It's just, again, I can get this 7%, and I can get it probably off a shelf. somewhere around here. So to look at, kind of, triple IPA, you got to pay more, you got to go out and get it from a brewery that tends to, be a little bit harder to find. It's looking like this is kind of like, okay, that's fine. It is what it is. Now, if your angle, and this is a lot of people's angle, if your angle is, I like, big ABV beers and small packages, this is going to be for you. But my loyalties reside on the opposite end of the spectrum. So take it for what it's worth. But it's not a bad beer. It's just kind of, at least for me. So, is it one of the better triple IPAs I've had as of late? No. Value and availability? Don't know. How much your stuff hits the shelves, but they do the weird self-distribute thing, but it flies really fast. So take that for what it's worth, and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like your triple IPAs, drink like single or double IPAs, if you don't mind a little bit of bitterness, and you like something that's well-rounded. I mean, that's probably the nicest way to put it. That's kind of just has juicy elements across the board with a little bit of green dankiness, and it's high in ABV. This will do you all kinds of that proper. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little hot butcher right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.